What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? What's good? What's good? I'm sorry that we are late. Just as we were getting ready to go live, we had a little situation backstage, honey, that we had to get it going. So my apologies that we are a little late. I listen. That's all I can say is to apologize. But we are here to talk a little bit about last night. Nope, one last night. It was Sunday night's episode of um Insecure. So we're gonna get into that in a few minutes. But real quick, let me just first of all, let me say hey to the people in the chat. What's up, Lock Queen, C Golden, Alika? Hey boo, I haven't seen you in a while. Hey Jarrell, Xavier, what's up, Vovo? Yeah, honey. Sometimes we be on that other time, child, the CP time. Thank you for my member in the house, C Golden. Hey, new member, what's up? SWTP 724. Hey, thank you for becoming a member. So while I'm waiting for L Teddy backstage to get some things together, honey, let me make this announcement. What's up, Tracy? Another member in the house. The whole viewership was triggered, child. That episode was doing a lot. Let's talk about it. But I just want to let you guys know that Countdown to Christmas is coming. Vlogmas is coming. It is all coming together. I told you guys about that yesterday. What I'm going to be doing, I will be mad I didn't get an invite to the shenanigans, but I realized I was right the first time the show. Okay, well, that's why you didn't get an invite. Anyway, but just to remind everybody that a couple of things that's going to be happening over here on our countdown to Christmas. The first thing is, like I said, we will be doing Vlogmas over here.
I missed where you said you was doing something with Vlogmas. What did you say you were doing?
So we're going to be doing Vlogmas over myself and a couple of other content
Oh, so I
creators.
don't get invites. See what I'm
You
saying?
said yesterday that you were like bah humbug. You
I
and
didn't even know
Emmy.
what you were talking. All I thought you was talking about was Christmas.
Okay,
I
well
didn't
we'll
know
talk.
that was what you were talking
Listen, we'll talk about it offline.
about. You
If
don't
you
care
want to
about
do it,
it.
if
Sorry,
you
act
want to
like
do
you
it,
care about
shut up. If you want to do it, you are invited. Shut up. But what I'm gonna be
it.
doing
Y'all
over
see
here
how
for
she
my
got all these new
members,
friends? Y'all see how
sir,
she got these new
sir,
friends? Oh,
sir. What I'm going to be doing over here for my members, and you have to be a member by December 1st to be eligible. I'm going to be doing the 12 days of Christmas. So I will be giving away 12 Christmas gifts to my members. So as of December 1st, if you are a member, your name will go in the hat. And I will randomly be pulling names out, and you guys will be getting some sort of a gift. It may be in the form of a cash app. It may be in the form of something coming to your home. It may be in the form of something, a gift card. But I got y'all for the 12 days of Christmas. So that's what I'm going to be doing for my members. Now, for my non-members, we are going to have trivia night, and you will be able to win cash prizes on trivia night. But the questions are going to come from the Vlogmas videos, my Vlogmas videos, as well as some of the other content creators that are going to be participating in Vlogmas. So more information will be forthcoming so we can tell you who those other content creators are. But it's going to be a good time. We're looking forward to it. We having fun. Sorry that I'm skipping over Thanksgiving, and I'm sorry if you don't celebrate Christmas. Shout out
well,
to
you
y'all
can
real.
always celebrate my birthday, which is what we
Anyway,
got.
shout out to y'all real. My my Jewish brethren. So
Maybe they celebrate Hanukkah. Hanukkah.
well,
Everybody.
don't do that. We're not doing that tonight. We're not doing that tonight. Anyway,
Abby said you do be dissing your siblings for these stranger friends.
I don't even know what that means, but okay. Um,
You ain't lying, Abby. You ain't lying, girl. You ain't
sir, do you want to be backstage?
lying.
I mean,
See what I mean? This is exactly what we're talking about.
I
Hey,
mean,
everybody in the chat. Hey, y'all.
okay.
Okay.
Moving on. We are here to talk about Sunday night's episode of Insecure. I don't know what the official title is, but I'm gonna call it
It was
Baby Mama
called
Drama.
pressure. Okay.
I'm gonna call it Baby Mama Drama. Now, first of all, let me start off before we get into this. Let me start off with sending an apology to insecure, because last week one of my criticisms was I felt like we missed some stuff and that I needed some flashback scenes. I was like, I said, we didn't even get the Tiffany baby birthday party. I was like, we missing some stuff. And this week they absolutely gave us a whole episode. We didn't see Issa with queso ruffles, Lord. We
These are
didn't
so,
even see
really, if you've never had these are addictive. It's so addictive. So addictive.
anyway. We got a whole flashback episode where we didn't see anybody but Lawrence and condensed milk. So first of all, before we get into
Not with this milk.
before we get into the particulars, what was your overall thought, El Teddy, on this episode?
I thought the episode, I would have loved to have seen an episode like this in previous seasons, because it brought out so much truth and realness and stuff that is so many talking points and conversation pieces of real life stuff that people go through. I thought it was really important. However, I didn't like that they put this in the middle of the last season. You know what I'm saying? Because I would love to see that conversation or this whole situation continue to be flushed out over multiple seasons to see how that works out. You know? So
I see it. I see it. I see what you're saying. It is a lot because there's so many different things in this episode that it's so many different roads we can go down. There is a lot there. I also thought it was a really, really good episode, and I definitely feel like it opens up the door for a lot of real conversations. As it relates to single parents, as it relates to co-parenting, as it relates to a father's rights. I mean, there's just a lot there.
Oh, somebody from California got in my comment section and told me, well, according to them, the laws in California about all of this. Did you want to hear?
Well, go ahead.
Okay. So what they said is a non-married male has, without a court order, has no rights to anything with regard to the child. Not
a lot of places, the rights are the laws are very archaic as it relates. Even, and I know this is going a little bit left, but even to the point where grandparents don't have rights. So God forbid the father dies, the grandparents have no rights to whether they get to see their grandkids or have a relationship with their grandkids. And so it's the laws are very archaic, very, very archaic.
Yeah, so they were saying that she doesn't owe him anything in terms of being able to see the child, be involved, be vested in, or anything outside of a court order. And that's why I said on my review, I don't even know why you having this conversation, because even though right now she seems amicable, and we'll get to it about them trying to work it out. Who knows a week from now? We see she real wishy-washy. You know, condominium over there, you know, she child.
Listen, well, let's go ahead and get into this episode. So the episode picks up exactly where episode 1 ended, with Issa giving Lawrence the nonverbal, yeah, bro, I ain't gonna be able to do this, and walking off. Now, I had forgotten that Lawrence was moving to San Francisco. So it wasn't just the fact that the baby was coming. It was also the whole long distance relationship factor that I guess Issa had to figure out as well. So that's where we left off. So we see Lawrence moving to San Francisco, and Lawrence looked like he's doing pretty good. He's getting, he's getting his own clients at the company. His opinion is respected at the company. He has a voice.
Did you notice he hadn't even, when he went in the house, he still had his stuff all still wrapped up and boxed up at the beginning, remember?
Right, when he went to his apartment because he was leaving. He was getting ready to move to San Francisco.
Oh, I thought he was already in San Francisco.
No, that was when he went back into the apartment. That was him. Like, that was him. He's because he still had on the same outfit and everything. That was him moving.
I thought,
because that's when I was like, oh, that's right. He was moving.
No, but she had already told him, I can't do this no more.
Right. Remember, and then we saw him pull off, and then he went into his apartment, turned on the lights, and all his stuff was packed.
No, this was in San Francisco.
Okay, well, I don't know. All right, whatever. Cause I don't know, child. So we see him on a date, and he said he ain't even rode the trolley yet because it don't have no doors and he might fall off. And old girl was like, "It's a good thing that you cute because that's dumb as hell." I don't think it's that dumb though, but
It's not.
I don't
Because
think
those
it's that
fields in
dumb.
San Francisco are real steep. They do got a point.
Listen, I have been on that trolley, and I remember we were there, and my brother was on it hanging off, and I was scared to death that he. I mean, because listen, it looks cute on TV and all, but all it takes is one good jerk, and you lose you lose your. Anyway, but while he is there, this is the first indication that we knew something was wrong. He gets a text, and he was like, "Oh, wait a minute, I think my baby was just born." And that lets you know right there that there's a problem because why are you finding out through a text? Why aren't you there? Why was it like, I mean, I know they said the baby came early, but it don't matter. You should have been on go. You should have been like, let me work remotely for a week. My baby is coming. I got a suitcase by the door. I got an open ticket. Like it looked like it took him totally off guard.
Well, the thing
Um,
about it is, she told him at the end of not well, yeah, I think that was the end of last season. Listen, you don't got to worry about nothing. I got this. Even if you don't want it, I'm gonna handle it. And so
right.
I'm surprised that she was even communicating with him with regard to the baby. And so I think that's a part that we missed because if they were communicating with regard to the baby and making decisions as to her keeping him informed, then she should have told him, "Hey, I'm going into labor." You know what I'm
Right.
saying? My water.
No, AOV, no, 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 no. Episode 1 picked up 2 months after the season ended. It was 2 months after the block party. And then last week's episode was a year after that. So this week's episode went back to when Issa got off the plane from her reunion or homecoming or whatever the situation was. So we're back to 2 months after that episode.
Mm.
We not a year ahead. We back to the 2 months. But I feel like that episode probably covered about 6 months, maybe 4 to 6 months. What you think?
This past episode,
Yeah, the baby, like from the baby being born to where the episode ended. What do you think that was about 4 to 6 months?
because
But
that
then the
baby
baby
did look kind of
baptized and
big. By the time they went to that party, the baby looked kind of big when he had the baby in the
yeah,
little.
I feel like it was about 4 to 6 months. That episode was about a 4 to 6 months window. That's what I feel like. I feel like. Hey Danny, what's up, my mod in the house? What's up, little sister? So he hops
So
on the plane. Oh, go ahead. What were you going to say?
no, go ahead.
So he
You good.
hops on the plane, and he gets to the hospital, and again, he don't even know what to do. He had never met Caligula's mama. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Kiki Palmer is the sister, and you could tell they had no relationship. So again, I say we went through a 9 month pregnancy. I mean, did you not go to the baby shower? Did you not go? Like, there's nothing there. Like he's meeting these people for the first time over his baby being born. Like literally, the baby's there.
Also, contamination. When she looked and saw him, you could tell that she had already schooled the mom and the sister on everything about him, and
Hmm.
he didn't know the first thing. He didn't even know their name, and she had probably, told them all the bad stuff. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I
It was
think
awkward,
contamination
right?
have been all wrong.
The whole thing was awkward. Now, the first violation, in my opinion, and LT, you can tell me whether you agree or not. The first violation is when Contentment told him they had already named the baby. That was just disrespect. That was disrespectful as hell.
And they're gonna name the baby Mustafa. Like, girl, what?
I was just like, girl,
And
are
then
you
they
serious
tell
right
me,
now?
oh no, they say, I'm gonna do you a solid. I give him your last name. Listen,
I was
conjoined twins. You were disrespectful, okay?
That was, I was like, so that's the first violation. How you gonna name the baby and then get a baby name like Mufasa? Why you gonna name the baby and not even have a conversation? Again, what did y'all do for 9 months? Like y'all ain't had no conversation.
She had to tell him something
Wait a minute,
because
I'm still in that one. See, Golden, I'm still in that one. That's hilarious.
wait, what she said, COINTELPRO?
COINTELPRO. I mean, you just don't. I mean, I just think that again, if y'all are really trying to have a again no relationship but a co-parenting relationship, why in the world would you name the baby without giving him the courtesy of at least a conversation? Like he should not be finding out the name of his baby after you done already decided at the hospital. Like again, what did y'all talk about for 9 months?
Obviously, see, that's why I say it's stuff we miss. Because Coinstar Machine and Lawrence clearly had been having conversations during her pregnancy.
Right.
Was she keeping him up to date? She was saying this is what's going on and so forth. For her to send him, oh, your baby was born. Because if she want him to know, I mean, she is, I don't know. And then
No,
I feel
Xavier.
like
No, that's not. If you know who the father is, Xavier, the baby gets the father's name. If you know who it is and you want him to have it,
normally.
I mean, so that's the first. That was the first fail for me. That was the
The
first fail
other
for
part
me.
is this. I gotta give Lawrence some push because was she really communicating with him during this time? And if she was she telling him, hey, this is what's going on? Did he ever say, well, can I go with you to see, because it seemed like he found out when he got there the sex of the baby. So he clearly was not involved in her going to the doctor or finding out the sex of the
Right.
baby.
Well, he said
Want
that
to
when
find out.
later on that night after he left the hospital when he was at his boy's house. What's his boy's name? What's my man name?
Oh, Chad.
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 He said that he said I'm not missing anything else. I'm gonna be at all of the doctor's appointments and stuff like that. So that made me feel like he wasn't at a lot of that stuff pre-birth, right? So the next thing we see is
Wait, no,
oh
but listen,
what?
it made me feel like he wasn't there.
That's what he said. He said I'm not going to miss any more, which
Okay.
made me feel like he wasn't at a lot of these hospital visits. So I'm gonna start stealing some of y'all from the chat. This is hilarious. So next thing we see Lawrence in contradiction at the baby's doctor's appointment, and she's talking to the doctor about having some problems lactating, and Lawrence is like, "What? What? My baby not eating?" And then the doctor says something about the baby being a little light. What? Is something wrong? The baby don't what? The baby not and he was
Listen,
the doctor
how,
was like, "It's your first baby, right? Because I'm gonna need you to calm
no,
down
no,
first.
no. It was only Lawrence because
Leave him alone."
construction paper over here. Construction paper sat over here like, girl, okay, well, it'll be all right. She didn't bat an eye. Construction paper didn't flinch or anything. It was Lawrence over here damn near having a conniption. He was like, wait a minute, the baby lost weight? Wait a minute, I wish you.
Right.
And was
Right.
looking
And
at them like,
again, no communication because something as simple as I'm having some trouble lactating. I mean, that might not be the most comfortable conversation to have with a man, but again, it's all about letting you know what's going on with the baby. You know what I'm saying? Because I have plenty of friends who have problems breastfeeding. I mean, that's normal, but the communication part of it, you know what I'm saying?
but I think Lawrence, and well, and I'm trying to figure out because watching this episode was I understood both sides, and I was just like, because I understood constructive criticism and how she felt, because clearly Lawrence wasn't there during the beginning of it. But then a part of me says she probably thought in his mind it was too little too late. But how is it too little too late? And this is the beginning of a whole human being that you have to
Right. Y'all got a whole
nurture for
18
18
years.
years. At
You
least
know, and
we're
my
saying
thing
18
is
years and it goes
again,
well past 18 years.
right. And again, right. Oh yeah, that was funny. When the doctor started talking about ugly babies, listen, that thing took me out because he ain't told no lies. He ain't told no lies. Some people babies are not cute. And I'm not
They
gonna
are
ain't nobody
not.
gonna bully me into saying the
But
baby cute.
let's be clear. I always say, I don't want to know if you can make a cute baby. Can you make a cute adult? Because damn the baby, they're gonna be an adult much longer than they're gonna be a baby.
That's
And you
true.
baby is
And a lot
ugly.
of babies,
Can you
when
make a
they
cute
a lot of
adult?
people grow into their looks. You see some people with them awkward baby pictures and they beautiful now. You be like, okay, well, all
That's
right.
why I say, I don't want to know that you got a cute baby. Can you make a cute adult?
That's a fact. That is a fact. So they're leaving. Now, this was the second thing that sort of irritated me. They're in the parking lot, and Lawrence brings up the fact that the baby ain't been baptized. He said, "Listen, my mama worried about the baby being damned to hell. The baby got to get baptized. What do you think about?" And she was like, "Oh well, you know." There's a church that I go to sometime when my people when my parents are in town, and we were just gonna do it there. Again, how you gonna plan a whole baptism? And again, I could see if Lawrence was an absentee dad. I could see if you didn't know what his mug was. I could see if he wasn't trying to be a part. But he is literally getting on a plane every Friday and flying from San
And
Francisco to
flying out
LA.
there.
It's not again. I'm not saying he's the perfect dad, y'all. I'm gonna get to him in a minute. But
Mhm.
I
But
also think
he's at least spending paper to come out there to see about his child, to be about the business of being there for his child. And Conquistador is over here like, girl, I don't see it for you. I'm planning everything. You are just, in the back. You ain't even in the passenger seat in this car. Conquistador told him, baby, you in the back seat. I got this. I'm driving this.
right, like it was like, damn, like okay, so we just gonna show up to the baptism, and so next thing you know, we at the baptism. Well, they didn't had the baptism. We at the dinner afterwards with the prayer. Can we shout out to the uncle who was sliding $5 in the handshake? When I tell y'all
Listen,
that thing took me out because my grandmama, until my grandmama died, my grandmama would hit you with that. Okay, my mama would hit you with the hand slide. Okay.
if you ain't got a relative that give you the patted handshake, or you don't know nobody who's giving you the patted handshake, you ain't lived long enough. You too young.
Right.
If you don't know about
And
patted handshakes, baby, because
right.
sometimes like your uncle or your daddy or somebody, your mama say you can't go, you can't do that, that, that. I don't care, and somebody in the family will see you and they'll come there and give you that pat. Hey, bro, don't tell your mama. You know what I'm saying? I used to get that on like one of my uncles or somebody will come up there and be like, man, don't tell your grandma I gave you this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Give me that pat
Right.
shake.
Right. And it's funny
You know
because
what I'm saying?
now my aunt does it, right? My aunt does it now, and it is hilarious to me because she'll be like, well, I don't want because my grandmother's thing was it ain't everybody's time. Right? Because my grandmother had like 15 grandkids. So she was like, listen, I can't give all of y'all at the same time. It ain't everybody's time. So everybody don't need to know when they getting blessed. So my aunt does that shit now, and it is so hilarious. I'm like, first of all, I love you to death, and I appreciate the thought, but I don't really need your $5. Like I'm good. Like I'm good. I'm good. Right? But it's hilarious. So can we shout out to the uncle, and then the uncle giving him props, or being a good daddy, being there for his baby, right? Go
Listen,
ahead.
when I saw freaking my girl from David Makes Man, who was Lawrence's mom, have we ever seen Lawrence's mom to this point?
No, we had never seen Lauren's mom, but Lauren's mom was
And when
not
I saw
feeling
my
that
girl,
sprinkle baptism. She said, when he getting dipped.
yeah, because I have
Mufasa
to
need
put
to
my
be
past
dipped. Okay.
yes.
Mufasa need a full boop. Okay. Now listen, calligraphy didn't seem to have no problem with the situation as it was. Because of course, because she's running things. Lauren says, listen, when do I get to have a baby? Because my grandparents, I mean, my parents want to get to know the baby too. They want to spend time with the baby. Like he got two sets of grandparents. So
Right.
when do I get in, Coach? When do I get in, Coach?
And then she Candy Camera finally acquiesced and said, "Okay, you can have this weekend." And he had before that, let me take that back. Let me back it up. Remember the weekend he was supposed to come,
Yeah,
and he had been at
he was
work.
tired. He couldn't make it, and
He was like,
of
"Listen,
course, with a little bit of headway he was making, it got knocked back because
mm,
then again it was just kind of like, see, I knew we won't shit. I knew we
mm."
wasn't, and you got Kiki Palmer.
You can call it her bullshit.
First of all, I love Kiki, but I'm gonna need Kiki. I'm gonna need you to step outside your box because you're gonna get typecast, boo boo. Because every time I see you, you playing somebody's thug or almost thug or halfway thug. So I'm gonna need you to step outside your comfort zone a little, boo. But she was doing what she was doing, and of course she added fuel to the fire. He ain't shit, and he ain't this, and I'm tired of this, and he got to step up. But what they're not realizing is that Cucumber is not letting him step up. She's not
Listen,
including him. She's not communicating with him.
and
She's not
and
letting him.
no, but car conversations. Shout out to JD's Corner is telling her sister and her mom every bad thing, and it's par for the course where you never say all of the good stuff. You never give credit for anything. And now production ain't do us no favors. Where right after he called out, they gave us the split screen and said he wasn't gonna come. They gave us the split screen with her over here dealing with the crying baby up all night, and we know how babies are. And him
Mhm.
over here get busting people down, get high fives at work, knee deep up there. We did get our gratuitous nude shot of Jay Ellis that we needed in our life. I'm sorry.
I mean, I wasn't mad at it.
I wasn't mad at it. They love to give us that back and ass shot. And I was there for it. Well, I was there for it. But it didn't help that you're seeing this, split screen parallel. And so it kind of wanted to make you side with car conversations.
It did in that moment. It absolutely did. Because you did like I did start feeling sorry for her, but again, my biggest criticism was you're not communicating, you're not talking to him, you're suffering in silence. And again, I feel like the more you're blocking him out, the less I don't want to say motivated, but he's getting frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Because you saw him look at that, you saw his phone give him the alert. You saw him looking at that suitcase on the floor, like, and I don't
Very
even think it was
good.
about seeing the baby. I think it was just about all the other bullshit that he had to go through just to get to the baby. You know what I mean?
He looked at that suitcase like, girl, girl, girl.
Right. So, um, and let me put a pause. Let me put a pin in that right now. Let me put a pin in that right there. Even if Lawrence lived in Los Angeles, what we found, and I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but what we found out is that she's not including him in the basics. So even if he lived in LA, the question is, would he have more access? Would she allow him anything more than what he was already getting? You see what I'm saying? Would it
Listen,
still be a weekend thing? Would you let him come over in the middle of the week and take the baby out? And
listen.
I don't
Corn,
know.
corn on the cob is still mad that he's not piping her down. And as long as he's not piping her down, she really don't want no parts of him. Let's be clear. Corn on the cob wants the pipe. And
I
so
agree. I think a
you
lot of
see
this
that
goes back to, carbon copy not getting what she wanted out the deal.
right. And so
I think so.
if baby is the one thing that she could use to hold over his head, because remember, and we'll get to that, but remember she even acquiesced in like, well, yeah, let's go as a couple, and to show people that, to give the vantage point that they still together even though they not.
But
Now,
I think that was calculated because they both because it was about Issa. It was
mhm.
about we know there's a probability that Issa is gonna be here. So are we showing up
So I
as
was
a
even
couple?
so
Huh?
I don't remember even. Was Issa there?
They didn't. Now listen, they didn't show Issa there,
Yeah,
but
I didn't see Issa.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get a flashback at some point where Issa did
Mhm.
show up, but she either didn't stay. Because remember, at the beginning, they was looking real happy and smiling and standing next to each other. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if there's a scene where Issa shows up and she leaves.
Listen, composition book. Um, every time I wanted to be on composition book's side, she would do something that would make me. Because when she told him, "Yeah, you can have him for the weekend," and stuff like that, and he went and was ready and had the
For the
guy
crib, he decorated the room. He was so
right. No,
proud of
no,
himself.
I don't. I thought he was going to like an Airbnb or something.
No, I think that was at his apartment.
Because remember, no, or a hotel or something. Remember, he said I wanted to have him for the weekend or something like that.
But remember, okay, the
I
crib
think
and
he's
stuff is
talking
in
about
San
other
Francisco.
things.
Now I don't know if he was going to take the baby back for the weekend or if he was going to stay there. But the crib is in San Francisco. But I didn't get the impression. I mean, they didn't really make that clear. But I don't know. I don't think he was going to fly back to San Francisco just to fly back to LA. But it don't matter
I
because
mean,
his ass ain't get out the front door, child.
right, because Toyota Camry was like, yeah, I don't, no,
Listen.
yeah,
So
that's not
let's
gonna
go
happen.
back to the baby's birthday party first of all. Can we talk for a minute about Kelly crazy ass, who is
Oh,
sober?
this
Listen, she
Peppa
does,
Pig.
and her cousin and with Pep, not Peppa the pig, but Pep the pig, because they don't want no copyright. Who is getting
Mm-mm,
hot in the kiddie pool, sir, sir?
Hold on, y'all want to give deference to Peppa Pig, but not give deference to the AKAs? Did they go back and reshoot that because they know they're in trouble? I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Oh, I didn't even think of. Ooh, that's dirty. Oh, he was going to drive back to say, "Ooh, that's a okay." He was going to drive back to San Francisco. That's a lot for one weekend. I feel like he should have just got him a hotel room or with a crib or
Or
Airbnb,
stay at his mom's house so he can hang
especially
out
for
with his
his
parents
first
and
weekend
stuff
with
like
the
that.
baby. That's a lot. I think that was a lot.
hmm Well, we'll get
But
there in a second because
yeah,
that
we're
was
gonna
that.
get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get
But
there.
y'all, they had more respect for Peppa Pig.
They did, didn't they?
AKA.
Wow.
Oh, that's so
That's
disrespectful.
disrespectful. Right. So um let's give Kelly a standing ovation for letting him know all her friends are right. All your friends, all of my friends are flourishing and thriving, honey. And I was like, dig, knife in the chest. No, he got a place a couple of blocks away. Okay, all right, okay. Okay.
Okay, I thought that's
Because
what
I
he
thought
said.
that was a lot.
Airbnb or something.
Yeah, I thought that would be a lot for him to go back to Florida. I mean, where I get Florida from, Lord? San Francisco. I don't know where I got that from, but I thought that would be a lot. Darren, you're trying to connect, but I don't. It's not connecting, baby. So Darren is trying to come in, y'all. So as soon as he gets his technical difficulties together, we're gonna bring him up. Um, so Confetti got in her feelings because the baby was feeding and Lawrence was trying to get the baby the bottle and she wouldn't let Lawrence do it. And it turned into a whole thing.
No, 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 no. Remember, he went. This was after he gave the baby a little bit of solid food at the thing.
That's what it was. She got
She
mad.
gave him
That's
some
right.
solid food,
That's
and,
right.
and
So
she
that's
was
why.
like,
So we know the baby is at least 3 or 4 months old because he said the
because
doctor
the
said the
doctor
baby can
said
have
he could
solid
do it
food.
after 4 months.
So yeah, I say it's about 4 to 6 months. About 4 to 6 months. Okay.
And she got real upset. And he was like, "But what? Hold on, what the fuck are you
Right.
tripping
He was
for?"
like, and it was funny. He was like, I gave the baby the food. He fine. We good. Let's move on.
hmm
Okay. Okay. Let me know when you're ready. I can see you, Darren. Let me know when you're ready to come up. You good? All right. Coming to the
Listen,
stage. Hey, Darren. How you doing,
Can y'all hear me
baby?
good? Am I good? Am I good?
I can hear you. You giving me the whole Suge Knight, death row
Okay.
vibe going on.
Wow.
No, let me tell you, the Wi-Fi is so bad in this school. I'm so sorry I'm late.
It's all good.
Like,
In
I've
case,
been
okay, so welcome. If you guys have been following us the last couple of weeks, you guys already know Darren Green, but Darren Green is a YouTuber, TikToker, extraordinaire,
TikToker
honey.
extraordinaire, honey.
Exactly right. So make sure if y'all are not already following him or subscribe to him, y'all make sure y'all do. If I have a mod in the chat, can y'all go to his page, Darren Green TV,
Darren
and
Green
drop the
TV. Yep.
link, please? And drop the link. Now, Darren, we're at the birthday party, but first of all, before we get back to the birthday party, let me
Mhm.
just start at the beginning. What was your overall impression of this episode? Just your overall.
Like, I mean, it was. I don't know. Like, I need one thing I wanted to mention was I need some plot. That's what I've been yearning for. I was like, all right, first episode is the first episode, second episode, second. We're in the third episode.
Where are we
What is the
going with this?
plot? You get what I'm saying? And I love. And we never had a Lawrence episode, which I'm kind of like, oh, okay, we're trying new things, but I mean, I don't know. Like, and I felt weird because
I think we did get a Lawrence episode back when he was dating the girl at the bank, and I think we did get a Lawrence
Yo,
episode.
we've gotten Lawrence episodes listed as a card carrying charter member of the Lawrence Hive. Charter member.
oh no,
I can attest we have had Lawrence episodes. But Carbon dated and Lawrence is a whole story. Like they could have a whole spinoff with just Carbon dated and Lawrence. Because it's a lot there. There's a lot there.
Mm. There's a lot there. So okay, so that's what it was. Cantaloupe got mad that Lawrence gave the baby solid food, and it turned into a whole argument in the middle of the party. People started looking. And Tiffany's husband very smartly pulled him aside before it turned into something bigger. And what he told him was, thank you, Danny. This is his channel link, you guys. Please go over and subscribe. He does reviews and he's got some good stuff going on over there. And again, he is a TikTok extraordinaire. So if you are on TikTok, make sure y'all are following him over to the TikTok too, honey.
All right.
But yeah, so Tiffany's husband said to him, listen, I understand that you are frustrated and I understand that this is not going the way you wanted to go, but is this what you want? Like, do you want the constant argument, the constant strife? Like, is this what you want going on? Because it's going to be a long road to 18, and I think the words resonated. I think Lawrence heard him.
Well, fucking Cup of Noodles was putting 20 on 10s, okay?
Not Cup of Noodles.
I'm sure Cup of Noodles does sit that baby to stay with his grandma or be with his sister, and they done did some shit that she had no clue or didn't know happened, and shit like, and she ain't bat an eye. But now she want to give him the third degree because he gave the baby a little bit of solid food, and the doctor already told them after 4 months it's okay. That's your life. At this point, she's starting to get on my damn nerves.
I told you, listen, she was already getting on my nerves. She was getting on my nerves from the moment they named that baby Mufasa without telling nobody. You don't just name no baby
it's
Mufasa.
Not Mufasa, it's Mustafa.
Mustafa. I was like, child.
I love the little nickname Ja. I did like the nickname Ja because his name is Elijah. I did like the nickname Ja. I was like, okay, I could get with that.
Yeah, he was definitely being a little unruly with some parts. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, he's not around a lot. She's, the primary carrier. You get what I'm saying? But also that is his child too, and I felt like she was just being a little nitpicky. Like, why was she even at the party? She don't even know Tiffany. She don't know Tiffany like that, right?
I think so. I think that's how they all met, right? Didn't Lawrence meet her at the baby shower? Isn't that when she met? Isn't that when he met Commodore?
Or Was it because I remember Issa going to Tiffany's office? No, it was not Tiffany, it was Kelly's office. And she said, "Oh, I introduced Lawrence to, a friend of mine, Ken of Corn." And
Yeah, I think that's why she came to us through Tiffany.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
It was at Tiffany's baby shower. That's what I thought. I had thought that.
Oh yeah, but I think Ken of Corn was introduced to him by Kelly. Kelly introduced him.
Is that who it was?
And what was up with Kelly? Like she was like, "Oh my friends is having it all in abundance." I'm like, oh, "Okay, I mean that's cool," but I'm like,
Because she was letting both of them know that Easter ain't studying neither one of y'all asses. She good.
Kelly was like, "Listen, I ain't here for none of y'all. Y'all want to know how my friends do it? Baby, we're living our best life."
and why wasn't they there? Like Molly.
Well, that was the thing. I think they were there. I think we didn't see it because either she came in at that point where they were standing there looking like a happy family, smiling and shit.
Now wait a
And
minute,
she
y'all.
left. I think she came through.
Listen, at the beginning of this party, it proliferated something we talked about or two live reviews ago, where when Lawrence saw Kelly, Lawrence said, and they went through the whole, "Oh yeah, I was dead and everything." I was like, "Is Kelly really dead?" And like, is that gonna come out at the end that Kelly been dead this whole time? Like, I was like,
I don't know.
I thought
But
about that really.
listen, that's still sort of in the back of my mind. Like I don't know, but it was really it was funny. Her being, what's up, Markel? What's up?
Hey,
What's
Markel.
up? That was really interesting. I will say that was absolutely interesting. But so after the party, we see where Lawrence is supposed to come and get the baby for a weekend visit, and Chakra was like, "All right, come on through." Lawrence flies that
baby, when Constitutional Congress told him,
not the Constitutional Congress.
crying. When that baby was crying, the Constitutional Congress had him, and she was like, "Nah, I'm gonna just keep him because he just wants." He was like, "No, I got this. I only had him for 2 seconds."
Right, like let me be a father. I'm gonna have to figure this stuff out, even if he is in a bad mood, even if he is sick, even if he's colicky, like all of those things. But I have to figure it out. I am his father.
Yeah,
and I think that was just ridiculous.
Listen, when Coitus told him you can't have him, and he went off for the old and new. Say, wait a minute.
Right. So he went off. And he said some things that were very interesting in that argument. One of the things was,
"You ruined my life."
Right. You blew up my life about a decision that I had no part of. Now, as the men on the panel, how do y'all feel about that statement?
Let me say what I got to say about this, okay?
Of course you will.
So population took it upon herself, okay, to say, "I'm gonna have this baby. I'm gonna keep this baby. You're not gonna have a say so." And you're right. That is a woman's right because that is her body, and she gets to decide what happens to her body. But at the same point in time, you can't very well say it takes two to tango to have the baby. But then when we're talking about whether or not to keep the baby or not keep the baby, then it's not two to tango anymore.
I've had male friends who have, we've had that conversation. It's like, it takes two to tango, which means that if I slipped up, you slipped up, we slipped up together. But you decide that you're going to keep the baby, but now I'm on the hook for something I did not want. And I know that sounds harsh to speak of a person in that way, but it is what it is. And vice versa. If a woman decides she doesn't want to keep the baby and the man wants the baby, again, no say so. And so it's those are always really hard conversations when you're thinking about that. But and at this point, Lawrence has like, listen, this isn't the ideal situation for me. It wasn't the best time. It wasn't the right person. But I'm trying to make the best out of it, and I love my child. Like I believe he loves his child.
Yeah.
Now that the child is here, but you're not letting me be a father. It's like you want me to do it on your terms and when it's convenient for you, and that's not fair to him.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to that baby. Because right now the baby, and that's the other thing Tiffany's husband said, was like the baby picks up on the energy. The baby picks up on that.
Yeah.
So, he was wrong for that statement because once you start having sex, you know that a baby may be an outcome. I agree, but what I'm saying is it takes two to tango. Like I get that once you start having sex with somebody, you agree that the baby could be the outcome. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that clairvoyant was wrong for keeping the baby, but at the end of the day, it's I don't know.
It's her choice, her body.
The statement was unnecessary. I mean, he was angry and he was lashing out. I agree.
He was in the moment. He lashed out, and Care Bear was not here for it. Care Bear said, "Listen,
Not
my
Care
baby,
Bear.
get over it. Get your ass the fuck out my house." Because he kind of went in. He went in and let her.
He went in. He went in
for a minute. He went in on coitus for a minute. I said, "Oh, he wasn't wrong." He was not wrong. He was not wrong. But baby, when he got on the airplane, another story was to be had. Okay.
Now, first of all, wait, because when he got on that airplane, I thought it was gonna be like, oh snap! So we get some real turbulence. They gonna crash the plane, gonna die off the damn show. I'm like, fine, it's gonna be the dramatic thing that it needed at the moment. But I'm like, well, all right, well, they scared that show scared the hell out of me. I was like, oh shit, what are they about to do with him?
Listen, that thing scared everybody. I mean, because
I was like, y'all not gonna make Lars die. Listen, I said
the same thing. I said, baby, what we not
I was like, all right,
ready to do.
Motherfucking production team. If Lawrence died, baby, I was here. I was midway typing my email to Prentice Penny and the entirety of the production team. And he made it out the turbulence because I was like, y'all as a charter member of the Lawrence Hive, I wasn't here for Lawrence dying.
Yeah, that turbulence was a little bit too much. I was like, when we gonna get over this?
Yeah, but I think it was just enough for him to realize, okay, life is short.
Yeah.
Let me fix it. Let me fix it. And Commissioner felt bad too. We saw her sitting on the couch crying. Y'all
gonna keep butchering her name.
Oh, look at the chat. If you think we're bad, look at the chat. Okay.
Coconut oil is still holding on to trying to figure out whether or not she can get some more of that good dick. But let's be clear. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about Lawrence. Clearly, we know Lawrence got good dick.
I mean,
motherfuckers be coming back.
He got the best scenes. I say that he got the best scenes.
Lawrence clearly must be got good dick. And Coconut Oil said, listen, I need more of this, so let me try bag back for the chance that maybe on a weekend when he comes to pick up the child, he horny as fuck and can blow my back out on his way out the door or something like that. I'm telling you, that's what she holding on to.
Child.
It's something like that, y'all. It's something like that. So I'm just gonna say this. I think it was a great episode. I think like El Teddy and I said at the beginning, it opened up the door for so many conversations, because even the debate about a man's rights, a woman's rights, and all of that. I'm a firm believer in a woman having her rights, and if she decides to keep the baby, she decides to keep the baby. If she doesn't want to keep the baby, she doesn't want to keep the baby. But I'm also a firm believer in consequences for decisions. And Danny, I want to read what Danny said, because Danny is absolutely correct. Danny said, okay, so this is the woman who got divorced because she didn't want kids, then had a kid with a man who didn't do it felt like she was trapping him into staying, and she didn't get the outcome she wanted. Because remember, Condoleezza Rice didn't want no babies. And I know people can change their mind. It happens all the time. I get it.
Because that was the whole reason she broke up with the ex, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And again, I know people change their mind. It happens all the time. People change their minds. But
listen, I'm telling you, it's all about the dick for crispy chicken. Clearly, Lawrence has better dick for crispy chicken than her ex did, because she was willing to say, because you can't make me believe that all the years she was married, that they never have. When you married, you ain't having, protected sex like that. You ain't got pregnant before. You went on the
right,
birth
and that's true, C. Golden. She wasn't even all in on the relationship with Lawrence. Remember how she played him at Thanksgiving? Right,
so
that's valid.
Lawrence was all in on her, and clap your hands. Oh, clap your hands. Shout out to John P. Key. Said, I don't want no parts of it. I'm just doing what I need to do to make it happen. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, again, y'all, I think that overall, I think that she's gonna definitely have to open up the communication, and she has to be willing. Cantaloupe got to be willing to let Lawrence be a daddy.
I don't agree with none of that. Cucumber melon lotion needs to be taken to child custody court. Because
so you think Lawrence just need to take her to court? Well, that's what he told her. He said, "I'm gonna do what I gotta do by any means necessary.
Right.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do."
She's proven that one day you will be okay with it. The next day, you flipping a script.
Right, because he came all the way down there thinking he was going to have his baby for the weekend, probably made all sorts of arrangements. Maybe his parents were going to, we don't know what all he had planned with this weekend. And again, we've already established that this is about 4 to 6 months down the road. He hasn't even had a weekend with his baby to himself. That's not fair.
Now, this is her first child, right? I believe.
Right. And I get that too.
Yeah. So that's probably like first child, my child is always with me 24/7. Like, you taking them to a strange place, and I don't.
But the thing about it is, he needs to take cunnilingus to court. And if I were him, I would not only take her to court for joint custody, but I would take her to court for primary custody.
Oh. Lawrence can't do all that. He can't do all that. I don't see Lawrence.
Custody, El Teddy.
I don't know. And y'all are going to say that, but that's the reflex all the time. Oh, the mom always needs to have joint custody.
No, but what I'm saying is, I don't think she's done anything that will warrant him. I think they should have joint custody, but I don't think that she's done anything that will warrant him trying to take the baby all together.
I'm just like y'all are saying, she hasn't done anything to warrant her not being with him. He hasn't done anything to warrant the baby not being with him. They can still have joint custody and have the baby.
Joint custody is
okay. But still have the baby. When you have joint custody, usually they have a primary parent where the child is going to be with whatever parent. And the other parent will have equal custody, but they'll have to go and visit the other parent to have the equal custody. Why couldn't it be the child be primarily with Lawrence, who may be much more?
I mean, again, why not? I mean, first of all, it's still a baby. The baby's breastfeeding. Like, I ain't got no problem with. I don't have a problem.
Yeah, the baby's breastfeeding.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Chimichanga keeping primary custody. Okay, that I don't have a problem with. But I do think Lawrence should get joint custody.
Listen, you telling me Carrot Top can only keep primary custody because she's breastfeeding is one thing.
No, but I'm just using it as an example. I'm not saying that's the only reason.
Oh, okay, because they make all kinds of Infamil and Similac and all kinds of stuff.
But that's not the same as breast milk. That's two different things. But I was just using it as an example. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just think that Lawrence got a raw deal. I think he's trying. Is he perfect? No. But he is long distance. He doesn't live there. And I think the fact that this man was, for the exception of maybe a weekend here or there, the fact that this man has been consistently flying down every weekend to spend the weekend with the baby tells me that he is committed
He's
to
trying.
figuring this out and making it work. And I don't think she was meeting him halfway at all.
Yeah,
And I told you that's
agreed.
because conspiracy theory is only here for what she can get out of it. She wants the schlong. Conspiracy theory wants him to bang her, to blow her back out, and continue to have joint custody. That's what she wants. Let's just be clear.
Child, would you think she wanted a relationship with him? Like she wanted to continue something, but things just didn't play out?
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think it's as much as she wants Lawrence as it was she didn't want Lawrence. I think it bothered her that Lawrence went back to Issa. Because again, remember, she was lukewarm on Lawrence. I just think Chessboard was doing a lot and it was too much. I don't know. I'm here to see where we go with the rest because I don't feel like we're going to drop it here. I think we'll get little tidbits as the season progresses about how they're doing. And you're right. I don't know if it was you, Darren, or if it was somebody else that said that they're going to have to kind of revisit this because, somebody was saying that maybe this was coinciding with the fashion show. No, because that was a year later. So no, the timeline doesn't add up. No. Like I said, I think Issa and Molly came to that party. I just think that
it wasn't for us.
Right. Or we're going to see it in some sort of a flashback. Because I can't believe that they would. That they
caramel covered popcorn is going to have to acquiesce to Lawrence, or like I said in my review, Lawrence, I wouldn't even give her the opportunity. You take her ass to court and get it settled that way because she's too wishy-washy. It might be today one thing and tomorrow is another thing. We ain't got that type of time.
And what Lawrence don't want is for something to happen as far as, hey, you got to pay something a month. And we all know he got that job. He got that good job.
And they're going to make him pay a hefty penny. That's why I'm Lawrence. If I'm Lawrence, because once you enter the realm of custody, of child custody court, they're going to start to factor in, child support and all. They're going to factor in all of that. So if I'm him and I got a good lawyer, hey, bruh, you make X amount of dollars. She makes X amount less than you. We need to be fighting for primary custody. And because if he has
I don't agree with primary custody. I agree with joint custody. I do not agree with primary custody. Now that as much
L Teddy thing, an L Teddy thing is more often than not is always thought that primary custody mom and not that, but there's a lot of situations where it may be more advantageous and sometimes better.
I just don't think in that situation, as much as Cobra made me mad this episode.
Yeah,
to me that's the extreme, and I don't think we're ready for it. Like that's DEFCON, and I don't think we at that.
Yeah, point. And it's a little unrealistic because that normally doesn't happen.
Not in this situation where there's no neglect. There's there's none of that. She can take care of the baby financially. There's no neglect. There's no history of abuse. My
point is, and this is with not just this one, with Come Stain, Candace.
L Teddy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We about to end this live. See, you can't do more than an hour. You can't be good for more than an hour.
Why is it always that when we go into a situation with a child and then you tell me from the front it takes two to tango? Why can't we go to custody court and say we're gonna look at whatever the situation is, whichever is more advantageous for the child? You go with that. You know what I'm saying? In terms of who can offer the better home life for the child. You telling me that the only thing that mom has to offer, and more often than not, is the fact that she's breastfeeding, is not the best answer.
That was
Because
just an example. That's not
Yeah,
what
that
I'm
was
no,
an example.
but I'm
saying.
not talking about just this one. But what I'm
Mhm.
saying is, on the whole, more often than not, it's always default mother, mother, mother. And in a lot of situations, it's not the mother has the best stable
But I'm
situation
using
for
them
that
in
child.
the case of in this case. What I'm saying is those are the things that the judge looks at. There's no record of abuse. There's no neglect. There's no financial issue. Those are the factors that a judge looks at when he's like, well, the fact that the baby has been with the mother from day one, and that's the like those are all. That's all I'm saying. Those are the factors that they're going to be looking at.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
That's all I'm saying.
Well,
Now,
we
if
got to
it
see how
were
this is
a
going to play
situation
out
where
because.
she was dropping the baby off with him and disappearing for weeks at a
Mhm.
time, that's another conversation. But just in this, no, that's And again, to me, that's DEFCON. Like, let's get some stuff. But I do agree he needs to go legal because at any point in time she can change her mind and then he's stuck. So I do think that
Mhm.
especially she's already shown us that
Mhm.
she'll play that back and forth game. So I
She'll
do
play
agree
that
with
game.
that. I do agree with that. All right. Well, final thoughts, Darren. I know you were late. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna let you go first. Final thoughts.
Well, like I said, I want to get to the plot very soon. I mean, these
Right.
episodes is cool. This one was a little bit better than the second one. I will say we
Mhm.
have a Lawrence episode. Lawrence is one of my favorite characters.
Lawrence.
Um, okay. I wish Carnova or Canola, um, they come to an agreement with something. I think they kind of got it at the end of at the end of the show. She was being a little nitpicky, but we also kind of seen a little toxicity with Lawrence a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
Lawrence isn't an angel.
yeah, he's not no angel, and I think that's what he was painted to be the angel. Like me and my best friend would go back and forth about him, like saying, "Oh, what Issa shouldn't have left him." This, that, and the third, or
So
she.
let's be clear. Lawrence was done wrong in the beginning. Lawrence is the
But
victim.
Lawrence wasn't doing shit. He was not doing shit with himself. He was sitting and vegetating, and
Don't listen. As a charter member for Lawrence Hive, I would hate to have to start windmilling on my boy Lawrence.
but all in all, I thought the episode was good. I hope it picks up some pace. I seen the sneak peek. It looks like it's kind of getting a little amped up. So can't wait for next week.
I did see some of the sneak peeks when they talked about where Chad is supposed to be, I think, in the next
Mm-hmm.
episode, and we'll get more about that. I thought I thought we were done with Chad after episode, what was that, 2? What? Because if I'm Chad, I want no parts of Issa no more ever again in life. But if I'm going back to my final assessment of this episode, it was a good episode. Like I said, I would love to have seen it in like season 2 or 3, where it could have been flushed out and we could see more of, because there's so many conversations that this episode invoked about co-parenting, and so much of the population, black, white, blue, or purple, deals with this situation where you have somebody that is a parent with you and y'all have to deal with this whole co-parenting, and y'all ain't married and y'all don't see it for each other no more, and how we deal with it. That is a real conversation in a lot of black households that needs to be flushed out and needs some more time. And I would love to have seen that story arc over a couple seasons as opposed to just one episode.
Right.
Because we're left with trying to, incorporate all of this stuff in one episode, where really there's so many different aspects of this that could have been an episode all unto itself.
Right.
And
But it was
so,
definitely a good episode, though. I think it
yeah,
was a
it
really
was
good
a good
episode.
episode. Now, this is definitely of the season. This is my favorite episode thus far. Of episodes 1, 2, and 3,
Oh,
is my
absolutely.
favorite episode.
Really,
Absolutely.
I like the first one though. The first one really
The
got me.
first episode had too many things that I was like, girl, girl, girl. You don't expect me to believe that, girl. But this episode, to me,
Hold on, I'll be
what,
right back, y'all.
all right, you got to be realistic in an episode for me to say, okay, this is a good episode. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so forth. And there were parts of episode one that I was like, yeah, that's not believable because Stanford University would have had no parts of Issa Rae give it any kind of goddamn um, panel, any panel. And Stanford, wait, Stanford,
Uh-huh.
no, we're not doing that. Not Issa Rae. We ain't got a job the first. No,
Okay, next person. Like,
right.
exit
But
to the left.
I really enjoyed that they, gave us, this dissonance between those two. Unfortunately, I'm a charter member of the Lawrence side, so I'm always going to side with Lawrence on most things. But I want to see how this goes forward because I'm hoping that this isn't our swan song with Lawrence. We know this is the
No,
last.
it's not. It's not.
I mean, we may see bits and pieces of him, throughout the season,
But from
but
the trailer, we know that we know it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see how they flush Lawrence and Issa's situation out and so forth because I feel like even after this episode, more of last episode with Issa crying and so forth, more so about Lawrence than let me step into my Alexis K. Tyler role. Shout out to her, Alexis K. Tyler. If you don't know who Alexis K. Tyler is, go Google her and look her up. You'll
Hold on,
Dick
y'all.
is
Well, I'm
Dick
getting
is
ready to I'm getting ready to close it down though. Go ahead, finish up, El Teddy.
Dick is a very powerful thing. And what happened is it will make you lose control of your bearings and of your rightful thinking. And so what I'm saying is if Lawrence got that good like that make the girls swoon, like we've seen the girls swoon for Lawrence, it will make you do a whole lot of things. That includes Issa. That is that includes Condom Reservoir and all of the other chicks that he done been with. I'm just saying. And that's all I got to say about the whole situation. Because
Child.
dick is a powerful thing. It will make you do some things.
Well. Now where ReallyBTV went?
I don't know where she went.
Well, we still gonna be alive till she come back to close it. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It will make you do listen. It will make you lose your mind. Listen.
Mm-hmm. I do want to hear more from Issa though. Like it's like we left out on her like crying. I want to see like, okay, where are we gonna go from this? Like, it seemed like she's probably just gonna forget it and go to the next event because it seemed like we seen her at the beach and stuff. Okay, there you go.
Sorry about that, y'all, child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm okay, child. Anyway, sorry about that.
We was kind of worried about you. You went away so abruptly.
No, I was waiting for my dinner to get here, child.
Okay.
I thought I timed it when we would be getting off, which we were, but it was just right at the end. Anyway, but I want to thank everybody for being here. First of all, let me give a big shout out to the chat who was coming up with all them C names. Like, y'all was on it. Okay. So let me give a shout out to the chat. I want to give a shout out to Darren Green for joining us. I know you had some technical issues, but it's all good. That's what life is about, honey. And as always, the little brother, the brat that he is, El Teddy's in the house. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you are not subscribed to El Teddy 27 or Darren Green TV, please check them out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so y'all can know when all of us are dropping new content.
Yes.
I had a good time. We've been
I think
rotating
next
this.
week is my week, right?
Right.
We're
So
back to
next
me
week will
next
be on
week.
El Teddy's channel. So look out for us. Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, we'll be over on El Teddy's channel to talk about all
Oh yeah,
things.
really. Don't forget tonight is the our kind of people say,
Child,
we gonna
listen,
have
tonight,
live
yeah, we
tomorrow.
got the our kind of people thing going on tonight,
Yeah, we
honey.
gonna have to probably do a live tomorrow on our kind of people, dear God.
Child, we're gonna see what they talking about. So let me go so I can get over here to this Queen Sugar, honey.
Nope.
And we will see y'all later. Thank y'all so much for coming through.